Hello, voices. Welcome back to another episode of the In My Voice podcast. I'm your host, Bonaheri, and I am excited to be back with you here with a new episode of the In My Voice podcast. Today, we delve into the Okutambula Kulaba segment of the In My Voice podcast, where we journey through the captivating tales of travelers who have ventured far and wide. As the Luganda saying goes, Okutambula Kulaba, Okudda Konyomya, meaning when you travel, you see. And when you come back, you tell the stories of what you've seen. Today, we have the pleasure of hosting Richie, the adventurous CEO and founder of Likyadi Adventures, a tour company that specializes in creating unforgettable experiences. Join us as we delve into Richie's fascinating journey, filled with thrilling adventures, cultural encounters, and the transformative power of exploration. Have you ever wanted to read a letter that was meant for someone else? Have you ever wanted to travel the world but didn't have the time or the money? If so, you are in the right place. Welcome to In My Voice, the podcast where we read letters and share travel stories about places by our guests. I am your host Bonaheri, and each week I'll guide you through these two different yet fascinating worlds. In the first segment, we'll read letters written to listeners like you about a variety of subjects, from heartwarming stories to heartbreaking experiences. These letters offer a unique perspective on the human experience. Some of them will make you laugh, while the others will bring a tear to your eye. But they all have one thing in common. They are written from the heart. In the second segment, we will embark on a journey to explore the world through travel stories. We'll visit exotic destinations, meet interesting people, and experience the joys and challenges of traveling. Whether you are a seasoned traveler or someone who's always dreamed of seeing the world, you will find something to inspire you in these stories. So, join me every week as we dive into these two fascinating worlds. In My Voice. I promise you won't be disappointed. Subscribe now and don't miss an episode. Richard, how are you, man? And welcome to In My Voice.
I'm fine, Abbas. Thank you for hosting me. Actually, it's not Likyadi. Your sound is so English. It's the Uganda version, Likyadi Adventures.
Oh.
It comes from the name Richard. There was a client. I used to work in Non's Credit. There was this client of mine. She's not so educated. She wrote my name in her book. She was writing Richard, but she wrote it the Uganda way, Richard. Not Likyadi.
Yaliwandika mu
Uganda. Now you are Likyadi.
Likyadi.
And the way it's spelled, that's how it was. And that's how I got the name. It was something unique. I looked at it like, why don't I use this? Why don't I use this Uganda way? So that's how Likyadi Adventures came.
So, baliyita Likyadi.
Mwabayita Likyadi mulimu lizunguwaza. Biri mu Luganda, Likyadi Adventures.
Likyadi Adventures. Yes. Okay, nice. Kati nga tetunagenda into the serious bit of this podcast. Normally tubeerawo n'akantu akatono ke tuyita quick fire. Kati mu quick fire one, what we're going to do is we're going to be having 10 quick fire questions and respond to them as you feel.
Yep.
I know they are very simple questions.
Okay.
So we just want to take them quickly and then we shall get into the serious business of knowing what Likyadi is about, what your travel experiences are, and all that. All right, when we get back, we shall be diving into the quickfire sessions. All right, welcome back. Let's dive into this quickfire question. Richard, are you ready?
Bring it on.
All right. What's the most exotic food you've ever tried during your travels?
I think it was the seafood. That was in Dar es Salaam.
Seafood in Dar es Salaam?
Yeah.
How was it? Did you enjoy it?
I enjoyed it, actually. I enjoyed it.
Tebyakwenyinyiwaza.
I'm open to new things.
Are you a beach bum or a mountain explorer?
Mountain explorer.
Oh, I know the beach.
Beach ya buli omu.
What's your go-to travel destination for relaxation?
Uganda.
Uganda. Where in Uganda?
I would say Bwindi.
If you could travel back in time to any historical period, where would you go?
Uganda wange sitambudde nnyo.
Firimu z'olabye oyinza okuba akafuuka olaba agamba naye
Jamaica eyo. Jamaica eyo.
Jamaica. All right.
Jamaica is a good place actually. I watch documentaries a lot and I've liked Jamaica.
Jamaica.
It has beautiful places.
Okay. Window seat or ISO seat?
Nze ndi wa ddinisa. Window, empewo. Manyi abamu mba mutambula ababatayanaabye bateekubye kawowo kawunya bakufaayo beekomawo.
What's the craziest adventure activity you've ever done?
Hiking when I'm high. Yeah, that was CP. I would say CP. I don't know how I reached the first falls, but nali city state.
Kirabika bakukwatira paka nga mutuuse waggulu.
Nedda ssebo.
You did it by yourself?
I did it by myself.
Wow, nice. Favorite travel gadget or accessory?
Funny thing, even my phone, I'm never on my phone when I'm traveling. I just be with people. People are my vibes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't have a favorite gadget?
I don't have a favorite gadget because I never record anything. I always move with the person recording everything. So me, I just enjoy the vibes.
Ah, nice. That's nice actually. I'm learning something new because most of us are always on our phones taking selfies.
That's how we miss the scenery.
Yeah, true. What's your most embarrassing travel moment?
You know, I'm an organizer of trips.
Yeah.
The most embarrassing part was when a client backed at me. I somehow lost it because we were trying to allocate rooms, but here there were some clients who are rowdy and they insulted me actually. I somehow lost it, but I got my cool back. Yeah, it was embarrassing, but I apologized later on. Although I was not done wrong, but I apologized.
Yeah, as clients we were very chaotic sometimes.
They reached there.
I tell you, on pressure I tried to settle them in
and it was a very big group, so just know the pressure which was there.
I can imagine. All right, solo travel or group travel?
Depends where I'm going. But solo travel, why should I travel solo? First of all, I'm a family man. Another part of it, I have friends. Why should I travel solo?
Family man akobadde nokayisaawo
nokayisaawo munange abamwebuzaabuza kati baba simanyi.
What's the one item your travel pack always has nga kyo tosobola kireka bw'oba olina gy'olaga?
Okimanyi nti ndi mu katuliki kabbi ako kalina okubaawo. Then another thing I always travel with is vibes. You know,
zibeera ku sure.
Once you don't have vibes, you'll never enjoy a trip. You come back saying, asanyumidwa, but always carry your vibes. Whether abantu babanyi oba tobamanyi, get ne vibes yo. The parking is for vibes. Always.
Kale, thank you so much for responding to the quickfire questions. That's all for our quickfire segment. I hope you enjoyed it. Now, getting into the gist of this podcast. Why I do Okutambula Kulaba is to get people to share their travel experiences so that perhaps they can inspire others to love traveling, but most importantly, for the listener to learn about the different places, what the cultures are, what the experiences are like for the people who have been to these places. So, Moko Richard, you are an organizer of these kind of trips. But before that, how was it like for you to travel? What was your first travel experience?
My travel experience, by the way, I traveled a lot before I started this company. So I started with the passion. My travel experience, actually, we used to travel mostly with work colleagues, and I used to be among the organizers. So I had good experiences. Although there were those bad experiences, I remember I traveled in lockdown. You people, as you were busy at home, me, I was traveling, by the way. I was traveling. I got a chance to travel a lot. We traveled. We had Majestic. But there was that one time, bad experience I had. It was in Kidepo. I think I never had any proper meal. And up to right now, I fear Kidepo because of that bad experience.
Okay.
But the other experiences, as I said earlier on, vibes. You enjoy. If you carry your vibes, you enjoy.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's always a good experience.
So since you've been traveling, when did you travel and then you decided, I think I can actually do this as an organizer or venture into it as a business?
I used to travel for fun. And I used to bring on board organizers. There was this one trip we had in Kalanzi. It was a retreat for my club, Dr. Club of Natete Kampala. I think it's me who put in a lot in that trip. The person who was organizing didn't do anything. I received the cash. Every organization, like from A to Z, it was me. Then what made me to start Likyadi Adventures, it was that particular trip of Kidepo, where every service we received was bad. Actually, not bad, it was worse. So I was like, come on, Richie, you can do this. Why don't you start up something? You have traveled, you know people, you have friends who will support you. Why don't you start up something? And that's when I sat down. Okay, I had some friends. There's a particular friend called Agaba Aston. Actually, I used to travel with him. Says, Richie, by the way, you're a good organizer and you're a good person. You're a person of people. Why don't you start up something like this? And you have a passion for it. Then I sat down, gave it a thought, asked a few friends. Then boom, I said Likyadi Adventures.
Nice. I know you shared earlier about how you started with the name. How was your first trip like? And where was it to?
You know, you got to get there.
To where it was kumanya?
My first trip actually was on Easter. That was 2021. And it was lockdown. Was it lockdown?
Yeah.
2021. And we went to the islands. I had a group of friends.
That is Sese.
Yeah, Sese. I had a group of friends who said, you know what? You said you started up a company. We want to go to the islands. They first said they were 15. Along the way, they first said they're 20. Along the way, we became 15. Then they reached 8. But remember, I'm just starting.
Yeah.
I said, you know what? We have to go. And the good thing, there were, I think I would say, budget clients. Said we are camping. That's say, of course, we're starting. Of course, was somewhere. I had a friend amongst those people. I said, picking up from company.
I know when you're just starting the business,
ne customer amugamba you have to leta kasente tuteka seje. We reached there. I remember we reached there. Tent zali nungi. Okay, they had beddings. Byali bulungi ne kati nze I remember nagira ne cameraman wange, and that's my brother from Masaka Jacob Chigundu. Big ups. Twagenda naye ne tugamba nyi sente tetuyina. Bakasoma bali emmere fene tufulumu ewe ne cheyi tuye emmere yesatu. Surprisingly, we ate fresh fish. And it was so nice and matoke.
And how much?
That was around 5K. And it was a lot of food. Customer boba ne bali eri ya ebiri kitundu fene ya sente zikira to save kasente twafunye katini. Actually, I remember that trip. Jacobo na musasula after how many months? It was a try and error trip. Yeah, it went so well. People enjoyed and never customer kugamba tukoleyo kana kazanyo tukole kino. And they enjoyed my company. Yani manga no, you have a bright future, but just tell them no very straightforward. Kola chino. Yeah, and I learned. Wow. And the second trip, boom. Yeah.
From that experience,
been
going on,
everything has been okay.
I've been seeing your flyers, I've been seeing your social media pages, or take your flyers almost every month in Dabanga. There is something happening. How do you get those people to come through?
I won't say they always come through. Uganda is tricky. Ugandans are tricky. Ugandans back to the wano, babasi wano. They say we shall come, we will come for the trip. 3 days to the trip. Nah, you're not saying Abbas. You say, yeah, Abbas is my friend. He said he's going to pay, but it's nothing. Anyway,
they don't even receive your phone calls anymore.
Thing is, social capital. I think it's all about social capital. I have good friends, I'll say that. They may not support me directly, but they will support me indirectly. They always refer clients. Right now, I'm going away from group trips to couples, family groups. Those are groups, actually, that's where money is. Group trips, people will say, I went there. But anyway, it's all about how do I get clients, friends, referrals, friends. And by the way, I think a supporting family. My family has supported me, trust me. My Muzee is always posting on his status my flyers. He says, you share these flyers. I have my sister, our firstborn. She has never missed any trip of mine.
How old is your Muzee who knows how to share statuses?
Muzee wangu WhatsApp. My Muzee is so WhatsApp, but funny thing, and it's odd, but he's so WhatsApp.
Hey.
He likes sharing a lot on social media. Actually, he's also in tours and travels, but for him, he's in these things of the Holy Pilgrim, going to Rome, going to Egypt. Yeah, those are things it does.
Okay, so what has been your most memorable travel experience so far?
Travel experience. I wanted to say this, but can't see why. Memorable one was when I got the gig of NSSF, and the number was big. That one, trust me, we came back when I've scored 100 out of 100.
Nice.
It meant a lot to me, and I always treasure it. Yeah.
What stood out in that NSSF trip, and where was it to?
What stood out, remember, they've been having their team buildings, but this was my first time to take them on.
Yeah.
I had friends in NSSF, but still the committee, they vetted, then they saw I was fit for it. From the word start to the word end, everything I promised to offer,
You offered.
I offered. And one thing I've learned in this is always be truthful, and always, as I told you, never forget your vibes.
Yeah.
Even if you are a tour operator or you are the organizer, involve yourself in the people you are taking. Be part of them. If you be part of them, you know what is wrong and what is good. They will tell you, they will open up to you. But if you sit back like I'm a tour operator, let me sit behind and I keep quiet, trust me, they won't open up to you. But if you be amongst them, you be them, you be like them.
Part of them, yeah.
Part of them, trust me, they will tell you everything and they will give you proper feedback.
Now, that is in the side of business. Naigwenga Richard. Trip chiji wagenda kuba gyogenzeko either organized by you or not nga just wagenda ku trip ng'olina ekintu kyejjuke n'ogamba waaba.
My third trip, when I started Likyadi Adventures, that was a retreat in Sese.
Yeah.
It was Lake Victoria and Natete. I remember the day before was my birthday. And that trip, by the way, it sold out. I had 56 people registered, fully paid. Nanywa beer, navaako that day. Navaako.
Nga ki ekikujjako nga kulwaki osanyusa nnyo bw'oti?
I was happy. I'd never seen that number. Remember, this is my third trip.
The third trip.
And I've sold out. I even tell people, know what? We can't accommodate all of you. Accommodation ejude. Nabagamba tufunire ttendo ngamba nedda.
Kiwedde.
So I was so happy. Nanywa. I had fun. Okay, I had fun. Twanyumirwa. Everyone still talks about that trip. Twanyumirwa. Nanywa nenvaako. Of course, not this sire kuvaako. Olekamu akakuzaayo. But it was, nagamba, nyumiddwa.
All right, tell us about a destination that surprised you the most mu travel zone. Nga wali kyokisuubira. You got there and you were shocked at the beauty, the people and the experiences of a destination.
I think I would say Sipi. I'd never been to Sipi. I'd traveled a lot, but I'd never been to Sipi.
Yeah.
That was still in lockdown. Natambula nnyo mu lockdown. Era trip ezisinga ezange zaali mu lockdown. Moved to lockdown kubanga nayinanga n'abasirikale. So I went to Sipi and went to this particular lodge bagiyita Sipi Valley Resort. Yali ekyali mpya nga bakagitereeza. Wow, it has a view. Ne falls oba oziraba ng'ozuuka ku makya n'olaba views n'ogamba wow, this is a beautiful place. Then also the falls. Nali situukangayo sijja balimba, but it was something beautiful to me. It was something beautiful since it was my first experience. Kyanyumira. I enjoyed it.
Tubadde tutandika wano n'onnyumiza Dar es Salaam. Now, give us some experience about your travels out of Uganda. Before Chibi what's that place you've been to? You're like, man, the vibe in this place, I loved it and I would love to go back sometime.
Nkusese, I haven't traveled a lot out of Uganda. Jensinzo genda Zanzibar, Salaam, Kenya, ne Rwanda. But nze Kalanzi onsange ku kisaawe. But passport, I had my first passport in 2011. Nenga passport zijjuddemu stampu za boda ku boda wali Kenya maraba ndi wa basi nnyo. But Dar es Salaam, I happened to go, that was I think for this year. Nali sigenze byange Okay, I didn't nagendayo before, but that time I was young, so sabitegeera nnyo, but this time nagendayo ng'akasente kange nze akasasudde. Ate this year nagiye njetegeedde era naye hotel nasulamu y'aba Rotarians. I think the general group used Saibaba buses, but me I wanted to travel somehow comfortably, and there was a bus called, I don't think it's still operates in Uganda, but I think it's still in Kenya and Tanzania. It's called Ahmed. It was very, very comfortable. Mwenye atusingako kwangwa kutuukayo na butali binnya, but it was very, very comfortable. The chair would incline like obange yebakidde ddala. The Salaam, actually we happened to reach at around 11 p.m. in the night. Newe twatuuka bwe tuti twanaabako bunaabi ne tugenda mu bbaala. You can travel in for almost 24 hours. Ne tugenda mu bbaala ne tukuba party until morning. And that was my best night. Other nights, I didn't so much enjoy them, but I enjoyed TZ, and I would love to go back.
You'll have to go back.
Yeah,
what
with
stood
my
out
family.
for you? What stood out
for me is, I think it's not like our Uganda. You know, those countries out there. For example, Rwanda and Tanzania. Unlike Kenya, the street wide, it's not so safe. But I remember in TZ, cab dropped us at where my friends were sleeping. Nze ngamba wane wasigadde ntambulawo ku street. It's night, and I walked up my hotel safely without any bother or being scared. Ekyo kyanteeka wale nga in Uganda, can you? Kampala street here.
But you can just
read. Abas, let's be serious. Otambula emikono gyo kuli ku nsawo oba mu nsawo munda ate ng'otunula emabbali. Yeah.
So that's Dar es Salaam. There is another place you said you were in
Kigali. I've been to Kigali. I've been to Nairobi. I've been to Zanzibar.
Tell me about Zanzibar.
Zanzibar, I haven't been there when I'm ngakosa kasente kange era nali ndi muto. Manyina travel kando nga ndi muto, by the way. I traveled when I was young.
Still this year?
No, that was my father paid for me. It was a trip. Actually, funny thing, I know a lot about Zanzibar because I watch many documentaries, and I do take clients, by the way, there.
Okay.
But I never post that clients have gone here, but I do take clients there. You'll never see them here. You never see me posting. But they do go there.
How old were you when you first went to Zanzibar?
I think I was my senior two.
Senior two.
Yeah.
Oh, what do you remember about that time? The trip and all?
It has been so long. I can't tell you. Because remember when you say unorganized trip, they somehow limit you to go to many places. Strictly, you are going here, you go. You are like a donkey. Go here, go there. Serving that adventure. But I know many places, by the way, in Zanzibar. Yeah.
Which place in Zanzibar would you recommend that if someone wants to travel and, have fun and maybe enjoy their stay in Zanzibar, which places would you recommend?
Do you mean the hotels?
Yeah, hotels, could be a beach, could be anything.
I think the whole of Zanzibar is beautiful. And whichever side you are on, you'll have that beautiful experience.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. It depends on your pockets. Because the most beautiful resorts are far away, like 50 minutes from the main airport. But wherever you are, you'll have the best experience. Trust me, Zanzibar is beautiful.
Ah, that's good. Kati, today Kigali. What's your experience in Kigali? How many times have you been there so far?
I've been to Kigali 2 times. Actually, the first experience I got, clean city.
Yeah.
Clean city. Then the security is good.
Yeah.
Ngoyita mu corridor. Wano corridor wekiro kusaawa 7 okuyita mu corridor. Chifesi. But you would find ladies passing through corridor.
But wait. Have you ever been beaten in Kampala? Have you ever been mugged?
I've never been mugged,
but
many friends have lost their property, their valuables, and some have lost their teeth, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah. Kampala, Sibizimbe.
Kigali, yes.
Kigali, funny thing, actually, there are many Ugandans. You find the waitresses, the DJs, the barmen are Ugandans. They will tell you this bar is good. Actually, general experience is good. There was this one time I left my friends in the bar and I wanted to go back home. So I jumped onto the border. Remember, we don't tetwetegera fena olulimi tetulugatta. We don't understand each other. Language barrier. Naye ng'omusajja omulagirira using the hand. And what surprised me, the guy took me up to the gate, waited for me to enter. That amazed me. Trust me. Late in the night. You don't understand each other, and the person takes you safely. That's how safe their city is. And my host told me, if a border guy tries to do something wrong to you, because they have those numbers behind, and you get that number and you just report to police, trust me, that guy will be gotten and he will never ride again.
Wow.
I wish we could
do that here.
do that here.
Okay, now Nairobi.
Iyo Nairobi mostly about transit city. But Nairobi, I don't have much to say, but the cinema. I love the cinemas, by the way. I love the cinemas because I remember I watched Avengers. This is the second one from there. The cinema was wow.
That's the only thing I remember about Nairobi.
Yeah, that's the only thing I remember about Nairobi.
And if you were to rank East African countries you've been to, Uganda kweri, ranking them security-wise for someone who is a traveler, just ntinze ndemu na Uganda njagala tambula, rankingira these countries from the best to the worst.
Uganda
jitaddemu.
Number one is Kigali.
Security-wise,
yes.
Kigali number one.
Number two, Salaam. That's Tanzania. Number three, Uganda and Kenya. Zikwatagana. They're the same. Okay. Now, when we rank them, when it comes to sites, tour places, the beauty, starting from the first to the last, according to you, really. By the way, do you know Uganda is beautiful? I know. Uganda is very beautiful.
Yeah.
You see, Kenya and Tanzania get so many tourists, but there are those particular things they will never get in Tanzania or Kenya.
Like what?
For example, did you know Uganda has 50% of the world's mountain gorillas? 50%. Does Kenya have them? You never get them.
Yeah.
Do you know we have the world's most strongest waterfalls? And that's Murchison Falls. Okay. Will you find waterfalls in Kenya? Do you know we have the deepest? Is it the deepest? Lake Bunyonyi with over. Come on, just skip my mind. It has so many islands. Is it 40 something?
Islands.
Yeah. And that's the beautiful scenery. Does Kenya have it or Tanzania? So you have so many things. Uganda has so many adventure destinations than those two. Yet those two get more tourists.
Why do you think that?
I think it all comes back to marketing. Yeah. Marketing. I think their governments have put in a lot. Do you know even right now Rwanda is going to exceed us? It's going to bypass us. Because you have seen Rwanda, Arsenal, the team you support. Yeah. I think they have done a lot of marketing. I think our government needs to do something. So much in tourism. Yet we have beautiful places here. Okay, now what you're talking about is foreign tourists. How about local tourism in Uganda? How is it? How do we make sure that it gets better publicity and people love to go to these Ugandan destinations? Our local tourists, I think they've said just embracing, visiting our destinations here in Uganda. You know, most times our Ugandans, they love going to Dubai. First thing, Dubai. This is Zanzibar. Dubai, Zanzibar, Cape Town. But trust me, if you get time and visit our Uganda, we have so many beautiful places. Yeah. And the lodges, wow, we have beautiful lodges. By the way, we have beautiful lodges. Maybe you know you get a kasente, you get a kasente. Uganda kati, why Ugandans? Why they want to go to Dubai? Kati wati wagenda Dubai. Balaba Uganda wane no bichimu bachirabe, but you haven't seen it at all. You haven't seen anything at all. Then ataba Uganda mwagala ebirungi ne ata kasente okata temwagala. So kati you can pay your 3.5 n'ogende Dubai. Dubai yokera kati bozo hotel ziri wamwe nnungi buli kimu kirungi. But that 3 million here ushobora kugenda wali n'ogamba yagenda weka bus genda wano Murchison Falls era nenzi ku charge ngezo. Nino usura mu lodge nga nungi but Ugandans have good things. Yeah. But you don't want to spend on them. Yeah. Ogamba tugenda kusula nenga akwadde emitwalo 3. Ninga ali mukubuza yagenda kusula nomugane ku mitwalo 3 gwenji kuwo osobola okusula weyagala okusula. But Ugandans have said embracing our country. For example, last year I had clients who went for Christmas in Murchison Falls, but most hotels you would call to look for accommodation. Mazugamba, we are fully booked out, and they are booked by Ugandans for the thing.
Wow.
So Ugandans have started embracing visiting our destinations. These days, I'm taking, as I told you earlier on, I'm taking now couples, family trips, friends. Group tours. You spend a lot on marketing, but the returns are.
Now, you've talked about Uganda and the beautiful places. Tuwe before bitano that you would say every Ugandan or anyone in the world listening to this podcast today would be like, I should go to these places. I need 5 places.
1, I'll give you Bwindi, because of the mountain gorillas.
Yeah.
2, Bwindi can go with Bunyonyi since they are in the same vicinity. Then 2, I'll give you Murchison Falls. Because of the falls and the boat cruise.
Yeah.
Then that's 2.
Yeah.
3, we shall go to Queen Elizabeth, especially the Ishasha sector because of the tree climbing lions.
Yeah.
4, we shall go to Mountain Rwenzori. Those like hiking. Then 5.
Yeah.
I'll go with. I'm torn between some 2 places. But to me, I'll go with Sipi. Because of the falls.
Okay.
Those 3 falls.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice, but all these places, ejinja ngato tututeyo. You mean
Jinja kati olambula Kampala. Jinja ogendagendawo. Jinja is a beautiful place also. Jinja yoka tutunda nnyo ne force naye kuba yeri kopi ne Kampala teri nnyo wala. Ne force tusobola kujja Kampala ne sakutwalako Jinja. Imbani n'okugamba ne Jinja eri kumpi.
There is a friend of mine who told me that she wants to come to Uganda. She's a Kenyan. She told me she wants to come to Uganda in December. She wants to organize with her friends. They come to Uganda. And she was asking me for tour destinations. And with my limited knowledge by then, namugama bugabi man, Jinja, Chigwera, Jinja. And she was like, okay, if you're saying Jinja, then it's going to be Jinja. But I think I should go back to her and tell her, Gwe, there are other places you can be too. It's quite interesting that we have all these places, but as Ugandans, we haven't tried.
Actually, funny thing, if you talk to most Kenyans, they have been to Jinja, one way or the other.
By the way,
yes. When they come to visit in Kampala, they can easily run to Jinja.
Yes.
Because it's also a happening place. It's a party destination. If you want to party, it's near Kampala. You don't have a lot of so many days in Uganda. Jinja is the final destination. Quick activities and you are back to Kampala. You don't need so many days away.
Okay, going back into Likyadi Adventures. How do you ensure that Likyadi Adventures offers unique and authentic experiences to its clients?
How do I ensure?
That the experience is unique and clients love it and enjoy it.
First of all, it starts with you.
Yeah.
Can you sleep in a bad place?
No, you can't.
So it always starts with you. You always say, where I'm taking my people, can I sleep there? Can I do this? You first ask yourself those questions.
Yeah.
How do you ensure to give the best? First of all, so you have to know your clients. You have to ask them, budget ye immediate. Do you want budget, mid-range, or luxury? But also, sometimes we don't ask that question, but always, no. You know, we Ugandans, first thing we consider as trip ya nyumye. Nsuze ntia. Ndidechi. So once you answer those 2 questions very well, trust me, never tebagenza for activities. They will say, nanyume do a trip. We have these people who just want the room. So make sure abagenda okusula. It's perfect. Nange Kalanzi, by the way, I love good things. Njagala ebintu era nange netekaamu akasente. I can't sleep in a bad place.
Yeah.
So mbasobola kusulawo. I can't make my clients sleep there. So if the food is bad, nange emmere esudi yambi, emmere embi, I can't give it to my clients. And also, always, as I told you before, be part of the clients. Be part of the clients. They will tell you everything. They'll say, emmere eno today. And always, how do you ensure that those things, everything is good? Ask the clients. For example, if they are checking in, go with them, ask them, how is your room? How is your room? The customer will tell you, I know, day. If there's another room, give them room. If not, even give them yours. If they are given, most times we are given rooms. Hotels allocate us good rooms. So if the customer say this room is not good, Mugambe kwate young. So go on, when they're having their meals, ask them, is the food okay? Are you fine? Before you eat, then you find some tour operators, but before you eat, let the customers get food first. Ask them, how is the food? That way you ensure that everything is okay. While you include the accommodation, go with them, like, how is your room? Are you okay with your room? Such things do matter a lot. And also do ground research about the place you are taking your people to.
Yeah.
Manya, Uganda. So you can't take people somewhere where you haven't done research about. Even in Kulaba to Zanzibar, I have to do research. Manya, which hotel is this? How is the hotel? I have my friend there. It's called Abdar in Zanzibar. It's my tour guide always. I would ask him, how is this hotel? If he tells me this is not okay, then I would take class there. Yeah. So it's all about doing your research also. Yeah.
I know you shared about the misunderstanding you had with a client on a trip in the quickfire questions, but I want, if there is anything else, I would want to know, what has been your biggest challenge you faced while organizing these trips, and how did you overcome it?
My biggest challenge has been on quotations.
Yeah.
Today, a bus, I'll give you a quotation stating you pay 500 UGX. Then the next day, fuel prices go high.
Yeah.
You get me? Fuel prices go high. When fuel prices go high, food prices will go high.
Yeah.
Also accommodation, they will increase. Remember, I won't come back to you and tell you, but you know what?
I underquoted.
I underquoted. No, I can't. So nja chigwamu nga musajja kijja kunira. Yeah, it has happened to me. It was a group.
What was it like?
It was a group of 10 people.
Yeah.
I quoted something. The price I quoted was okay, but along the way things went haywire. Prices changed. Amafuta negalinya. Chikutulamu okay. What I learned, as long as it doesn't go again into your pockets. It may go away with your returns, but not to go into your pocket.
Your pocket, yeah.
So you just say, Chibadeo, let me handle, let me play along. Make sure, but still, it doesn't stop you from giving the best. You give the best, nenga elimo emanju. Not deep inside you are crying.
Okay, now, of all the places you've been to, which place have you been to, and the culture of the place, the people, the local people, empisa zawe, ngolaba, they stand out?
The thing about tourism, actually, abantu training, I don't know, but trust me, everywhere I've gone, people are so welcoming. No people will offer support. Like, this place was outstanding, or this was outstanding. Trust me, everywhere you go to, it's like people are just trained how to handle tourists.
Yeah.
They treat you well, trust me, they treat you well.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a funny thing actually. They like to worry want to training. No gamba ngeze more north, people will treat you well. If once they know you are a tourist, they will treat you well. No salamas, they will give you, whether you have gone to the east, trust me, anywhere. People they treat tourists with respect and love.
Okay. Awesome. So what's your to-go-to food when you're traveling? Ngogamanti, it doesn't matter where I'm going. When this food is there, I'm sorted.
I love food adventure. You know, there's also food adventure. I love adventuring on food. Echiri watch India. There's this food I ate one time in the north. Is it beans and maize? But I ate it.
In Kenya, it's called githeri. I don't know the name for Uganda.
It's common in Uganda and mostly in the north.
Yeah. I've seen it.
Actually, also in Kasese, it's common there. So I love adventuring. As I told you when I went to the coast, everyone shied away from the seafood, but me, I ate it. As long as toilet ready. I love adventuring foods also.
All right. Okay, how do you normally balance adventure with sustainability in your travel business? You're against a good trip, you want to have fun, but you also want to make sure that the business is sustainable in the long run.
You have to be amongst the people, your clients. You have to be part of them.
Yeah.
Trust me, one way or the other, you'll have fun without even touching your pockets. You'll have fun without touching your pocket.
Did you have a customer abakuteka more Luseke?
Actually, customers never put Luseke in you. Actually, there was this trip.
CEO ngulirayo beer.
Actually, there was this trip I went for. It was a family trip. And I think I was fasting. They offered to buy for me drinks. And they knew I love Nile. Naga nebagamba Kalanzi oli mulwadde. But clients who kuba mi Luseke msibalabangako, actually customers always are offering to buy for you. Customer wabantu vanashina ugambye, always pack your vibes. Don't sit back and just coil your hands and say, like me, I'm the service provider. Be amongst them. Provide vibe. If they are seated, tell them stand up, let us have fun.
Kati gwe kulwaki ntawanya bonsanga nga ndya ng'ongamba gwa Abbas, you a service provider, why are you eating?
Abbas, you are my friend. I be disturbing.
As someone who has been to different places, what advice would you give someone who is aspiring to travel and, become a traveler or even venture into a business at some point?
The advice I would give, always don't wait for a group to travel.
Yeah.
Decide and stick to your decision.
Yeah.
If you wait for a group, you might wait for 5 years without traveling. And always stick to your decision. Never wait for a group. Travel when you want to travel. And also always start with your country. First finish your country, then before you think about going to Dubai. That way, you get exposure. You know what to pack, what to expect. But if you start with Dubai and end up in Uganda, you see, Dubai, this hotel had this. This one doesn't have this. So you see, you haven't started from the grassroots. Start from the grassroots before you go high.
I get.
You get it?
I get.
Yeah.
How about as someone who would want to venture into the business?
Someone who would want to venture into the business, one thing I always tell people, it's always passion.
Yeah.
Abbas, you said your cooking business.
Yeah.
Didn't you have passion in it?
I did.
I started Likyadi Adventures, it was because of passion.
Yeah.
I traveled and I got the passion. Don't just start because Abbas has started it, let me also start it. Have the passion. Togenda nga nako wadde ojinja niyo venturing into adventure. Tumanyi na hotels zikuli kumpi. You want to venture into the business. Like, have passion for something.
Yeah.
It's like starting up a boutique. Don't just start it because Abbas has started it. First have passion. Do you love fashion? You don't have love for fashion, but you want to venture into clothes. How will you sell your things? It's passion.
Yeah. I would want to know some of the challenges when it comes to visiting new places. Nti ogenze mu kifo tokimanyi, tour guide taliwo, because I hosted someone on this same segment of Okutambula Kulaba nangamba nti yatuuka Dar es Salaam and the tour guide disappeared. They made an arrangement and the guide disappeared and she didn't know where to start from. Where would you start from in such instances?
I haven't faced such an incident. Sichifunangako, but I've seen people who have faced that. It all comes back to planning, proper planning. If you plan well and you do trust your person, trust me, you won't get such a problem. But they do happen, obviously. We are human. People disappoint at some point. But me, the challenge I most face is people disappointing, the clients disappointing themselves. There's a particular trip I organized. We're going to Murchison.
Yeah.
The number was 15 people. Remember, when you are budgeting, you factor in so many things.
Yeah.
So you say there are 15 people. Along the way, people fall off. Then there are people who fell off on the day of travel. Remember, they said we are going to give you the money. They are your friends, you trust them, they will bring the money. Okay, we are going. So in the morning, they call, you know what, I've gotten this emergency. But so obviously, they're lying. And remember, for you used your money to book accommodation, to book transport. So these people are falling off.
Yeah.
So that is still a challenge. Ugandans disappoint a lot.
Yeah.
They never stick to their commitments. On the day someone falls off. Just imagine someone makes an order with you for food, and on the day they say, the numbers cut down to 5.
Yeah.
We are 10 now, it's 5. You have cooked food for 10 people. How do you feel?
That is horrible.
So those are the experiences you get. But somehow we overcome it. Or manya yolosi, and you move on. Life moves on.
Yeah, true.
Then also another thing is there are these partnerships we do. There are those partnerships that are not healthy at all. They lead you into losses.
Yeah.
So normally the people you partner with, first do a background check on them.
Yeah.
Before you do partner with people. I won't give my experience, but it's not a good one.
You've had some. Why wouldn't you give us at least a preamble to what happened and what can we look forward?
Sagala chogera kecho.
Lwaki mzee? Ajja kuliza podcast.
No, search. By the way, it's good actually. The person can know the feedback. Because naye nanyina mugamba nake nyina mwogerako. No, it's not one person. It has been like, I think I've done partnership with like 3 people, but all of them have disappointed me.
Yeah.
You plan a trip, you say you're bringing this number of people,
yeah.
I'm bringing this number of people. I bring the agreed number, for you bring 0. Okay, the ones you bring haven't paid, and others you have brought them for free. So the number I've brought on board has to cater for everything. Meaning there will be a deficit somewhere.
Yeah.
And how do you cover that deficit? For your clients not to be disappointed, you dig into your pockets.
Yeah.
Isn't that a loss to you?
It is, of course.
So partnerships, nonji, erudambi. Because I do have partners in Tanzania. By the way, I do have partners in Tanzania. I do have partners in Kenya. And right now I'm looking for a partner in Rwanda.
Yeah. So if you could relive one travel experience from your past, what would that be like and why?
Actually, that was my second trip.
Yeah.
Second trip of Likyadi Adventures. That was to Murchison Falls, still in lockdown. Lockdown at Okutambula, by the way. My first trip was on Easter in Sese at, I would say, 8 clients. Then the second trip I had 25 clients.
Yeah.
To CP. That was my first trip. And it was more of family and friends. And it was a vibe.
Yeah.
I would love to go back with them because I felt at home. I felt amongst my friends. It was a lovely trip.
What stood out?
Family and friends.
Just being with family.
Just being with family and friends. It stood out. Why? Because they supported me. They came on board and they supported me. They're also my workmates. A few of them, like 3 of them, they did come in and fall in.
All right. Give me one funny experience you've had.
Naimira kumeza nenkuba dance. I wouldn't want that video to come out.
What happened?
Clients were kind of bored. They looked to be bored. And everyone was on their phone. So I was like, how can I pull these pose moods?
Yeah.
I just stood up on the table, started dancing. Before I knew it, people were recording me, and they were happy. And they started drinking actually. Before they were not drinking, they were not doing anything. Me, I stood up on the table, started dancing while I'm drinking, and everyone joined in.
Wow. What do you normally do to make sure that your clients are having fun?
I be part of them.
You be part of them.
And I told you, carry your vibes. I started the vibes.
You start the vibes yourself.
I started the situation first. I know which kind of dance I'm with.
Yeah.
If I see there are people who want vibe, but they're still being reserved, I start it. You start it. You don't have to just sit back and let your clients look on. Actually, most times clients say, Rich, enough vibes, or what the vibes. Actually, most people want to always go for my trips because of the vibes. I give them the vibes. I don't just sit back and I look on. Yeah.
All right, Richie, finally, give us a sneak peek of upcoming adventures with Likyadi Adventures. What do you have in store for us this year or even beyond?
This year, by the way, I think if you are keen, you haven't seen any travel calendar for this year.
No, I haven't. I've been following social media for some time.
I did it on purpose. Even the few flyers I put out, I just be sitting there like, let me first put out this flyer.
Yeah.
I did it for a purpose because this year I'm focusing more on family trips, team buildings. Actually, I've become so big in team building. I'm taking on companies you wouldn't imagine that will give me business.
Yeah. If
I'm to tell you the companies I have right now that are giving me business for team building, you'll be surprised. Big companies. So this year, funny thing, in January, I started getting bookings for December, family trips.
Yeah.
I think I have like 4 groups of families.
Yeah.
I have a group of 30 family members. I have another group of 6 people. I have another group of 15 people.
Yeah.
So those are all for December. Then team buildings are those companies which have already contacted me, which I know I have to take for team buildings because it's a yearly thing. So I'm focusing more on that than these group trips. Because group trips, you put in a lot and the returns are not that sufficient.
I want you to clearly tell us what group trips mean. Because wogamba group trips nizo gamba hanze nga bwana heri, if I have a group of 5, nizo obutajja wa Likyadi because I'm thinking maybe you don't do group trips. By group trips, do you mean just organizing and people pay or what?
What I meant by group trips, these trips you see flyers. For example, I say we're going to be in Fort Portal. Those are the group trips I'm talking about, and I put a fee.
Flyer and a fee.
And I put a flyer and a fee. You spend a lot on that, and as I told you, Ugandans kind of disappoint. They will hype you.
So those are trips you're not organizing anymore.
Yeah, but if you are pass, you have your friends.
Yeah.
You know what? Kalanzi, I have my people, my friends. We're like 10. Where can you take us? I take you. I'm taking many people like that. I get so many of such groups, but these organized group trips. I've organized the CP. Hey, this is the fee. I'm so reducing on those.
Now, if we have a group and we have a destination in our head, for instance, we say maybe we want to go to Murchison, and we're a group of 10. On average, how much would everyone have to, pay for such a trip with Likyadi Adventures?
First of all, it's always accommodation first.
Yeah.
Which accommodation you want? Most people tell you we prefer this kind of accommodation.
Yeah.
We prefer comfort. We prefer this. So accommodation always gives the price. But trust me, when you're like 10 people, I think the minimum each will pay will be like 750.
750 for how many days?
And remember, Murchison is the most expensive, one of the most expensive destinations in Uganda.
For how many days? Those are
3 days and 2 nights.
3 days and 2 nights.
Yeah.
Okay.
If there are 10 people and a half.
Okay. And then ginger?
Ginger, that one is very cheap. Okay, ginger is expensive.
Yeah.
What makes it expensive are the activities.
Yeah.
But other things is cheap.
So, on average, how much would that be a group of 10?
It depends on which activities you want to do.
Without activities?
Without activities, then I wouldn't. I don't know why I'm taking if there are no activities. You can take yourself and just relax.
Come to slide into my DM for the prices.
Yes, obviously, it's always that. To negotiating in Uganda, negotiating. Enough price is fixed. Jakugamba basi njagala mitwala 5 ngambi Kalanzi awonseddemu. Then awongere nyike calculator nyanga muyindi nyike calculator nonya accommodation endala nkugambi oyita watoyita. You understand?
Yeah.
Yes, all about negotiation. We talk as people. We discuss. There's no fixed price for that.
All right. Key takeaway, one takeaway for you, for anyone out there who has listened to this talk.
Banange mutuwe emirimu. And people do love your country, by the way. Do love Uganda. Yeah, there are many things going wrong, but Uganda is a beautiful country.
Yeah.
Mujje tulambule. Come take on Uganda. Come take on the Pearl. It's a beautiful place, by the way.
All right. Thank you so much, Richard, for sharing your experiences with our listeners. I'll share contacts in the description of this podcast for someone to reach out to you. Tell us your social media platforms so that people can reach out.
Before I say the social media platforms, I want to thank people. Always ask me, they always say, hey, Kalanzi, I thought don't take people out. Don't take people to other countries. Because I never post about them.
Yeah.
But trust me, last year I started with my family. My family always supports me first. So they happened to go to Dubai, and it's me who took them to Dubai. There were 9 people. They went to Dubai. They had a lovely time. They even recommended some people who have already given me a gig. Right now, I'm in talks with someone in the UK.
Yeah.
I need a partner in the UK and the US. I'm also getting it because most of these big companies we see here who are big have partners in the UK and the US on those other countries. So I'm working on that also. Within a few days or few weeks, it will be okay. Then our social medias everywhere. It's Likyadi Adventures. Then our website is www.likyadiadventures.com. Then our email address is info@likyadiadventures.com.
All right. Thank you so much, Richard. It has been nice having you here, and have yourself the best of the Easter season.
Thank you very much, Bwana Heri, for having me here. Tunyumiza binyumye.
And that wraps up another fascinating episode of the In My Voice podcast in the Okutambula Kulaba segment. If you have enjoyed this episode with Richard and want to hear more captivating tales, be sure to subscribe to our podcast channels on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, YouTube, and any of your favorite podcast platforms. Don't miss out on future episodes where we explore the world through the eyes of fellow adventurers. Until next time, I hope you travel and discover the world.